Bhagavate Shri Arunachalamaaya Om. Om Namaste everyone.
नानाचिद्रगडोदरस्थितमः दीपप्रभास्वरम् ज्ञानं यस्य तु चक्षुरातिकरणध्वरा बहिस्पन्दते जानामीति तमेव भान्तम् अनुभात् एतत् समस्तं जगत् तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. A lamp is lit and a small mud pot with 5 holes is placed on top of it. Because of the light of the lamp traveling through the 5 holes, one is able to see the objects of the world. Instead of concentrating on the objects of the world enlivened by the light, concentrate on the light which is within. To that Guru Dakshinamurti we bow down. This is from Dakshinamurti Stotram of Adi Shankaracharya.
Anyone has any question? Louis Darby, you can unmute yourself.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you so much. We are very grateful for these sessions. As you know, having just lost a loved one, I apologise if I should know this, but is reincarnation possible? Is this something that is this something possible? And because if we are this spirit having this earthly experience, do we connect with spirit once spirit has passed over from this earth? Does the spirit come back again?
Mhm. Look, this is, I should not say it's possible. That is what the rule is. So, when we keep this body mind as us, as an idea, as identity, then definitely that is what happens. Reincarnation happens. Next birth happens. And next birth happens mostly where we have to pay our dues. Whatever give and take is left, we start again there. So, most of the time, the jiva or soul, what we say, who identifies with body mind, is born in or around previous souls and jivas from which it has to, there is some give and take. Actually, this question is easy to answer because that's the rule. But if your question is reincarnation not possible? Then it is a big thing. Reincarnation possible is the downward flow of the jivas. This is the way it happens. Reincarnation not possible, for that we have to put efforts. We need grace.
Thank you. Okay, great. So if we're clear on that one, thank you. I just wanted to check. So once somebody does pass over, is there, in that spirit realm before they are reincarnated, do they also have practices to do in order to try to, I don't know the right word, try to clear some of their karma? Is there practices that we as humans also can do to try and help people to clear their karma so that when they do reincarnate, hopefully they've either learnt and cleared that karma?
Look, as far as my understanding goes, it is this human birth in which we progress, we can make efforts. Rest all births are like our dream state in which we have no means to further improve. So the improvement occurs in human birth. Rest all, if you see with all the animal, because you can be born anything. It's not that once you are born as a human, you will always be born as human. You can be born as anything. In other lives, they say that there is not much progress. You are only reaping your karmas. So you are not responsible for your karmas. in animal reincarnation or as a bird or whatever it is. And the further progress also occurs in human birth. And sometimes before you get into another body, you might be in some realms which people call as lokas or different words, but they are all just like our dream word. Or even this waking, as we say, is a dream word, not more than that. So that cycle continues. But the most important thing to understand is that if you have been a good human being, not deceiving others and doing all the good, good will happen to you. The law applies to every being, that goodness prevails. And there is that what we or I talk about in these satsangs is not the journey of soul, not the journey of jiva, because this is all illusion, and this illusion continues if you don't question it, because this is our belief system that I am this body mind. So if we have not dropped this body mind idea in this birth, then yes, the journey continues, reincarnation happens. And for me, the progress is putting efforts to know the truth. When we know the truth, then this cycle ends. There is no more reincarnation. Because reincarnation means that we are still ignorant. When we are not ignorant, when we are awakened from this dream, then there is no more birth.
Beautiful. Thank you. I am grateful to clarify that with you. And again, just as you know, in my situation, so
Do you want to speak about that? Because in satsang it will help others also, like you are saying your situation. I know, but if you want to say a few words so fellow beings can know it.
Very happy to. Sorry, everyone, my video is not on. Good morning. Some of you may remember my husband, Benedict. Ben had brain cancer, glioblastoma, and he journeyed with that for approximately 2 years and then passed away in May 2023. So that's coming up 16 months now. Ben was lucky enough to meet Sanjay as a neurologist, and together they were able to have many conversations, and Sanjay was able to help Ben get in the right mindset. And so as a result, Ben was able to very peacefully live out his life and absolutely transform his karma. And we had a incredible last 2.5 years together where he was going through this death experience, but he was very clear and very gentle and very accepting, and remained in a space of being appreciative about being alive. And so we had this great experience. But I guess the reason why I'm asking these questions is because since Ben has left the planet, I have this belief about reincarnation, and I have this belief of, this is why I attend these satsangs as well, but I found it very difficult being the human remaining in that situation. And so even though I believe in reincarnation, even though I believe in that Ben's life journey was perfect and he was able to reconcile and show so much beauty and gratitude about being alive, it's been difficult to remain here. And so these practices are very, very good for me, but I'm still, I guess, learning to accept that once a spirit does leave, that it's a wasted time to mourn them, but it takes so much time to get to that acceptance point for myself. So Sanjay, thank you so much for answering that question. And I think that's probably been my only other question, my only other unanswered question is there something I could or should be doing for those who have passed over? And the supporting myself to realise that my broken heart is, again, just another illusion. It doesn't mean I haven't loved, but I am actively trying not to stay in pain and loss and suffering.
Really good question, and I believe this question is with almost everyone who loses a beloved. My suggestion would be to anyone who has lost the one you have loved is to pray for them not to return on this earth, to go to the other end, to transcend, rather than wanting them to reincarnate. And I know Ben, in such a short span of time, his understanding became profound. And the reason was that he knew he has a very limited time. It's not that we have unlimited time. But when in a disease like cancer, when you know it is so certain and the time is limited, you put all your energy to know that reality, and that can help you to awaken. Because one can live 100 years in ignorance and one can die at the age of 20 knowing the truth. Whose life would you call more successful? It is not the age which defines a successful life, and it is not how much you have collected being productive on this earth. Yeah, I know for a lot of people that is the successful life, but from the standpoint of absolute knowing reality, awakening in this word, more awakened than this awakened state. So once you are awakened, you cannot come back, because this is a dream world in which jivas think, I am doing, I have this doership and I'll come back. So our prayers for Ben should be that he has already transcended this dream world and he is in the supreme bliss, merged with the absolute. And in that sense, Ben was a form of that absolute, and we all are that form. So nobody gets lost, nobody is missed. It's only that form which is giving that energy, that substrata, giving rise to these forms by different names. So he is very much here in that sense. He has not gone anywhere. There is no place to go. Only in illusion we go. Only when we sleep, we dream and we are lost. But when we are awakened, there is no other place to go. There is nothing else to be done. And I believe that is what happened with him. So our prayers for him should be that he rest in this eternal peace all the time. And in that way, he is always in our heart as us only. There is no one separate.
Thank you. And as the person grieving, like, how do we explain grief? Again, is it another distraction of another thing that we need to let go of?
Again, grieving comes from our identification with body. When you identify with your body, you identify with all the relationships, attachments to the body. Grieving is nothing but attachment, nothing else. So to know the truth that there is no loss because all these forms comes and goes. Problem is, the moment we have identification with body, we do everything to keep this body alive forever. And we all know it's not possible. And then we want all the relationship of this body to also be alive, which is not possible. And we also should know that the one in every body never dies. So try to identify that rather than being identified with the body. So the whole thing is internal shift. You have to move from the body identification to the Brahman identification. This Brahman is that pure energy, awareness, which is in body, around body, everywhere. There is nothing but that only. We call it self also, Atman. Sometimes people don't understand self because self appears that individual self. It's not individual self. Individual self, which we talk about all the time, some people also call it soul or jiva or ego. That is our dream state. That is what we think. So moment we realize that we are not this body-mind complex, though we have this body-mind with us, but we are beyond that. So try to be in that and try to practice that. And Louis, I'll tell you, the moment you start knowing that in your own experiential state, all these questions will drop. You will realize that Louis, Ben, and everyone is just one. There is no separateness.
Thank you very much, Sanjay. That's helped enormously. Thank you.
Thank you, Louis. I can say Ben's understanding of life went so exponentially, progressed in last few months, unbelievable. And that I have seen happens with a lot of people who take it seriously and they know that their time is limited. Everyone's time is limited. But that urgency is not there. When the urgency is there, we know the truth. When we think we have time, we will do it. Every time when something happens to this body or the bodies around us, or any loss, and we have a grief, we should come back to the source. Reconcile everything at the source. It is not much different than in our dream. We have some loss of a friend or a relative. Sometimes people themselves, they see their own death in dream. And then you wake up from the dream and you feel so happy that I am still alive. Same happens in this dream. This waking dream, when the body is dead, you know that you are alive. But that profound understanding that I am Brahman, I am self, does not come on its own after death of the body. Because after the death of the body, it is more like the dream state in which we dream in subtle body. But if you know right now that you are that pure awareness, which is no name, no form. All names and forms comes in it only, including this body. And it is unborn. Body was born and body has to die. But the essence is us. Only identify yourself with the essence, not with the body, not with the mind. So when death will come, it will take away the body and leave you. So many people in this world think that this body is the only thing for us. And some even think that now I have been given this body, I can do whatever I want with this body, indulge and enjoy and have fun. And at the end of this body's life, there's end to the life forever, which is untrue. Life continues in other bodies. But if we know the truth, then we are out of this illusion of birth and death. That is the only ultimate aim of all religion and spirituality, to be out of this bondage of birth and death. Use this body while it is warm, alive, to be free from this. The term for that is Jivan Mukta. You live in this life and you are free from this body. When the body drops, then we call it Vidhe Mukta. You are free from the body also. Bhagavan used to say that a Jnani, the one who is a realized being, for him this body is a burden. Because even for a realized being, they have to take care of the body. They have to wear some clothes, eat some food, need a shelter. When our understanding deepens, we realize that all the people we love around us are part of us only. But it also makes us understand that all the people whom we hate are also part of us. All the people we dislike are also part of us. It's our projection. Even some extreme fanatic people whom you hate are also part of you. You open your eyes and all of these are there. Send love to everyone. Love everyone. We can easily love everyone once we know who we are. The moment our identification with this body goes away, we are connected with all beings, everything. because everything is actually what we are. Atman, self. There is only one self. There are billions of mind, but only one self. Myself and yourself is the same self. Everyone says that self is I. There is only one I. The real I is that self in all of us. If we stay with that, then we get connected forever with everything, because everything is that self. If we identify with body, then there is suffering. Only suffering is identification with body, and then all sufferings comes on top of it. Because of body identification, we get another body in another life, and it continues endlessly. All the problems of worldly life and spiritual life comes only with one wrong identification. That is the I am the body idea. When it drops, you attain to supreme bliss. That Brahman is called as Sat Chit Anand. Sat is eternal existence. Chit is consciousness. Ananda is bliss. Infinite bliss of self is attained when our identification with body-mind is completely dropped. Dakshinamurti's message is only knowing the inner silence. When all the beings of this world will not be there, silence will still be there. That Brahman is that inner silence, which is there right now also in all of us. Some people have these wrong concepts that on realization God comes from sky or somewhere and enters into the body. He's already there, but we have no time to know Him. When we sit together and contemplate on Him, then we start knowing Him as our eye of wisdom opens, we see Him within us. These eyes are useless to see Him. To know Him, we have to be in silence. That silence is achieved when we have no interest in all these thoughts emanating from our mind one after other. When we have dispassion for all the things, vairagya. And dispassion develops when we understand that most of the things actually give rise to suffering. And other things which give rise to happiness also leads to attachment and addiction. And when you don't get it, you suffer. You get things, you suffer. You don't get things, you suffer. So going for things is only invitation to suffering. So dispassion, with dispassion, with vairagya, all thoughts in our head are useless because they are always about something of this earth. If our thoughts are all about knowing the divine, then they will be very helpful. They will take you into the right direction. And as the Bhagavan says that, like a stick in the burning pyre, that thought will also dissolve. Nothing is left. The realization of truth is only for us, not for the forms around us in day-to-day meeting people. We should know who we are. People will only identify a body. Let the body interact and do things what are necessary. But internally we should always be knowing that I am that eternal awareness, and not intellectual knowing that we have to repeat a mantra like Aham Brahmasmi. We should put efforts to know it experientially within us. I'll tell you a secret. Even for a second, if a realized being loses attention to that, he takes it as a loss. That is why all these big public gatherings, indulgence, he has no interest. All these things which gives worldly people enjoyment takes away bliss from a realized being. Or if he goes, he's already always in that. So he's there but not enjoying anything happening there. But for others, it's a good program, nice event. I can give you an example from Bhagavan's life. People around him were people like us, ignorant, wanting to know the truth. But they had a lot of interest in other things also. So once they arranged some musician to come and play something and to sing, and everyone enjoyed, and they said to Bhagavan, how beautiful, how nice this program was. Bhagavan said, I only remember when he started. And then it finished. And it continued for hours. Bhagavan said, I have no clue what he did. These sensory organs this body is carrying, we think enjoyment is pleasing these sensory organs, whether it's your eyes watching movies or ears listening to music or the touch of a good thing or taste, whatever you think. But a jnani knows I am not this body. He stopped pleasing this body. This body never says to you that I want to eat this or show me this movie or take me there. Body is insentient. It is the mind which produces these thoughts for you to act and do those things. If you have no thought, you are in your inner bliss. Why would you indulge in all these things? Wastage of time, wastage of money. And then all this takes you away from the God within. But you can say that you enjoy it and you get happiness. That happiness also comes because there is no thought when you do that act. But there is a heavy price we have to pay. Every time we have to do that act to be without thought. But if we know it, there will be no thought ever. They call it a pure mind state or a no mind state. Bhagavan says, Mano Nasha, you have finished this mind, you have killed the ego. But who has killed it? When it was never there, we only thought it is there. We are in finite bliss. And we look for small happiness by doing all these acts of sensory indulgence. We are living in form of a beggar, though we are a billionaire. We see so many people around us who have nothing to do with God. And they also feel that this is the only life. Work hard, play hard, enjoy, and that's done. I have to say only one thing. That you do whatever you have to do. It's your choice. But more you are away from your divine nature, less you are happy. You're always chasing that happiness. in worldly things, in materialistic things. And then you're dependent on resources, money, and all these. But if you can find divinity in you, you don't need a single penny to know it. You don't even have to go anywhere. And everyone has this pure self within them. There's a network of this pure self, infinite network, bigger network than your internet and media. So many people, young and old, are trapped in this social media. And do you know where it is taking us? To hell. And nobody knows it. They are all under its spell. This is Maya's new tool of Maya. And what it gives you anxiety, it gives you depression. It never makes you rest in you. Most of the people in this group are old enough to know the time when there were no mobile phones, no social media. You could still interact with this person in front of you. Now people interact, but their eyes are on the screen. In the past, when you enter your house, you are on your own, your solitude. Now, even in toilet, there are people with you. I have to say, this tool of Maya will create more issues for someone who wants to know that self. Because of addiction. This life was already too much of addiction. And we have one more addictive tool. I'm not saying that people were not addicted before. When television came, people were addicted to television. Still now, people keep watching throughout the day. I see so many of my old patients, they sleep at 12 a.m., 1 a.m. And you ask them, they say, we get bored and we are watching movies after movies. And then they get up at 10 a.m. and I want them to take the first tablet at 6 a.m. But they say, we get up at 10. All life disrupted, no discipline. Because of what? Addiction. Addicted to TV, now addicted to media. Do you know it is all a deliberate attempt of all the media? Not one, all of them. They have scientists, researchers, software developers who only have one aim: how to make you addictive to it. They want you to spend more time on the screen. And they keep doing research all the time to get you more on it. You are a product. They are not trying to entertain you. They want you to be there so they can sell other products. And whole world is in its spell. And nobody is against it in a big way. And nobody is going to listen to us now. It's already too late. Go for the pure intelligence than artificial intelligence. That pure intelligence is all of us. It is waiting to hug you, to embrace you. More you stay there, less you have to even use your mind. That intuitiveness sorts out so many things. In these satsangs, we talk mind as an illusion, which is still quite close to ourself, coming from there only. What would you call all this AI and media and all these things? Illusion within the illusion within the illusion, like Matrix. Give complete rest to the mind. Enjoy the silence within you. This eternal silence is independent of all the gadgets, all the external support. Solitude is the key. And solitude means there is no interaction, even on the screen or anything. Not even your mind. Nothing. Be in the company of yourself. Know thyself and be in it all the time. Then all these external distractions have no issue. Get firmly established in your own self. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, everyone.